Today's conversation is based upon reflections of Matthew 10:16, where it states, "Behold, I send you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. So be shrewd as serpents and innocent as doves." Dove represents peace and love, which is our true nature. And serpent represents wisdom, which is also our true nature beyond fear. Some translations have it as shrewd, and some have it as wise as serpent. Humans are considered Homo sapiens and are said to evolve from Homo erectus. Now, if we look at the etymology of the word sapien, it means to discern, or the one who knows. Some ancients suggest an explosion occurred within, from which human life became what we can call magical. So the one who knows means the one who can choose, as in you have the ability to think for yourself. And so what are we choosing? Well, a suggestion is given. Choose life. And what is life? Well, you are life itself. And from there, how do we represent life? As what appears as the outer aspects of life. And so how do we choose what appears as the outer aspects of life? We choose based on desire. So thus, you get to choose how you truly desire life to be. Or we could say, represent life. This is the truth that sets you free. Now, the reality is you are already free, beyond mind. And thus the appearance of being free is initiated in mind, as reality is experienced through mind. More specifically, the subconscious aspect of mind, by your conscious choice. As the Bible also states, the meek shall inherit the earth. Meek is beyond weak. It means deliberate, intentional, power-directed, as in you are the director of the unseen power or conscious creator. The world is a gift given to experience and enjoy life. It is a reflection of mind. You are beyond mind, and the degree of freedom that you give yourself in mind is witnessed as the degree of freedom experienced in the outer aspects of your life. This is the distinction between conceptual understanding and experiential understanding. So prove it to yourself. You don't need to prove it to this world. The world only reflects the mentally initiated change of what you have proven to yourself. And so you get to choose what you want to experience. Again, the suggestion is choose life, which simply put means choose how you truly desire to be, versus identifying with beliefs not true with how you truly desire to be. You see, this world is made up of beliefs, some true, others not, to how you truly desire to be. And so we let the desires of a heart be our exclusive guide, as Neville Goddard once said. The spiritual self speaks to the natural self through the language of desire. Unhesitating obedience to its voice is an immediate assumption of the wish fulfilled. To desire a state is to have it. That's stated, no pun intended. Unhesitating obedience is not forceful nor controlling. It means effortless acceptance that your heart's desires have already been fulfilled. This is the key to effortless manifestation and authentic being, which is easily done as we understand the true nature of desire. To desire means you already have it. Any resistance to accepting the suggestion that implies fulfilled desire is revealed through thoughts and or emotions. These help us lovingly bring awareness to the source of the resistance, which is belief, so that identification to it can easily be released. And resistance is not a negative thing, unless one chooses to believe it to be. If they do, they could, through that meta-belief, add additional resistance to accepting their own suggestion. I consider resistance as a wonderful thing. I love resistance. And I trust after watching this video, you'll also fall in love with your resistance, and it'll become your friend. You see, resistance awakens discernment. Otherwise, we could accept whatever random suggestion. And so in that regard, it helps us. Now, when it comes to matters of the heart, we want to acknowledge that our desires are already fulfilled. If acknowledging this truth is a source of unnecessary resistance rather than joy, we transcend resistance by falling in love with it and it speaks lovingly with us. It brings to awareness the identification of the beliefs in mind that we're looking to be released anyways, so that we can free ourselves and live how we truly desire to live. The beliefs are brought to awareness, and I mean literally brought to awareness, as in you are awareness. That is, what is referred to as your true self. You are beyond the beliefs in mind and truly exist in a dimension beyond mind. This was the message of the ancients, going all the way back to antiquity, from when the human race was in its infancy. The all is mind, the universe is mental. The subconscious mind translates what you consciously imagine into what appears, the experiences you love. And so what we're accomplishing here is releasing identification to beliefs that perpetuate the illusion of resistance in mind in relation to a heart's desires, which can be experienced mentally as overthinking and in body as unnecessary emotional resistance. That way, as you listen to your heart, you easily and instantly accept your desires as fulfilled. Essentially, you listen to yourself, think for yourself, and trust yourself, and automatically live life how you truly desire to live. And you don't need to lift a finger. It's done for you. This world happens automatically for you. The unseen power does everything through your subconscious mind. The contents of mind determine what happens and how it all moves. Intuitively, we all know it. This was also the message spread since antiquity for humanity to know the power and be how they truly desire to be. John 8:32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So ideally, if a person is clear of identification to beliefs that generate resistance, to accepting the desires of their heart as already done for them, there's no emotional resistance. Emotional resistance again caused by beliefs. They allow emotions to flow as they are energy in motion, a natural part of human existence. As you live this way, you'll find it easy to accept your desires as already fulfilled without suppressing or repressing as it increases in frequency, where you suggest something just once to yourself and accept that suggestion. So there's truly no need to do anything else to accept your suggestion unless you find it helpful. Thought is fast as light. You instantly think that's the way it is without overthinking or emotional resistance and accept that suggestion. Now, if accepting the suggestions is generating resistance, then two things. First, as mentioned in the beginning, resistance awakens discernment. Otherwise, we could accept whatever random suggestion, which may not be true, to living a great life. So I'm going to authentically have resistance if the suggestion goes against how I truly desire to be, and that's perfect. I have then, by definition, no true desire to accept that suggestion and thus won't dishonor myself in doing so. So if it is a true desire, then I found that this is the easiest way to release the identification to beliefs that can cause unnecessary resistance to accepting it. Have an effortless and joyful, loving conversation with the resistance as the release of identification to the belief in question occurs, and you'll find that the resistance is no longer there. And the core reason for this is twofold. Emotions are energy in motion, and it is how a person subconsciously relates to them that determines if there's any emotional resistance to accepting a suggestion. Thus, no inharmonious relationship with emotions. The same is to be said about thoughts. Excessive thoughts of resistance stem from certain beliefs. Once the identification to the beliefs in question are released, and the suggestions are easily accepted. Thus, likewise, no inharmonious relationship with thoughts. So in summary thus far, we no longer need to run away, fight, or pretend like resistance is not there. We fall in love with the resistance, befriend your thoughts and emotions. They are loving messengers that lovingly reveal what beliefs are identified with. See, your essence is love. Awareness is love. Thus you bring awareness to and fall in love with resistance because you understand the true nature of it, which is to serve as a messenger. Resistance actually derives from a Latin word, which means to make a stand against. So you talk to it. What are you standing against? Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. We're a team. As you befriend the messenger, identification to the beliefs in question are easily released. So let's take a scenario. Say initiating a big change in life. Let's say a relationship change. A person experiencing conflict in this area and the desire for this conflict to be resolved, which, if they accept the suggestion, it would send the instructions to the unseen power of the subconscious mind to take care of everything for them, and some way, somehow, it would be resolved. However, there seems to be resistance in accepting that suggestion. No shame or condemnation. There's nothing wrong with them. Rather, they are presented with an opportunity to be real with themselves so they can understand what's going on. Then they observe the emotions and thoughts in relation to the resistance without identifying with them to the best of their ability. One does not have to be perfect at this for this to work. Unbiased observation to the best of their current ability and ask themselves the following questions. What are you revealing through thoughts and emotions? I know you are sharing something with me. We're friends. What are you sharing with me? Maybe the response is doubt, like it would never work out. Then you say, thank you, friend. Then we ask another question to explore further. Why would it not work out? And maybe the answer is because this is a common pattern. Then we say, thank you, friend. Then we can ask another exploratory question. Is there a possibility that this could be another way? Then the answer could be, well, perhaps there could be, but they don't see it. Then you say, thank you, friend. Again, no shame, judgment, or condemnation. Thank you, my friend. And the next question could be one to open up to the possibility. Like, was there ever a time where you did not see the way and the way showed up? And so now we're allowing the subconscious mind to accept the suggestion as we release identification with the belief or beliefs in question in mind that is generating resistance to accepting the suggestion. So this entire process can be done in less than a minute, seconds actually at times. I've tried others that took 10, 30 minutes or more. Some went for days or weeks, and I found this to be the easiest and fastest because imagination creates reality. So reality works the way you imagine it does. So one way is not better than another. Use the way that works best for you. So this inquiry is not forceful and interrogating, rather joyful, fun, and exploratory, like a treasure hunt. This is instant mental alchemy. So now see a pattern from the responses. A number of beliefs have been brought to awareness, thanks to the conversation with the resistance. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you. Now we understand what we were once identifying with without shame or condemnation, only love. Now this can be enough to release the identification to the belief or beliefs in question, and if not, that's totally fine as well. We turn our findings into autosuggestions, which through our findings, we further encourage how we truly desire to be. So here are our findings. Number 1, a belief that there's a common pattern for whatever the reason may be. Number 2, there's a meta-belief, not as open to possibilities. Number 3 is actually a belief worth encouraging, which is, it has been done before, and so we want to encourage that it can be done again in this area and other areas of our lives. This widens the scope as a result of a possibility-based belief, which also, as an important point, some beliefs create unnecessary resistance, and some beliefs reduce or eliminate resistance, especially ones that open us up for possibilities or suggest that things can get easier or more fun and playful. I mean, who does not truly want to have fun? And on that note, there's also nothing wrong with not being open for belief change in certain areas, which perhaps those beliefs are helpful as they prevent harmful acts to self or the world. This is why I always say beliefs and mind are not problems. They're gifts to facilitate being how you truly desire to be, like a palette, colors, and paintbrushes to paint as life experiences that which you truly desire. So now with this information, which can be journaled if you'd like, we turn them into autosuggestions that are so precise and individualized that we easily speak to ourselves in a way that we listen to ourselves and trust ourselves to easily accept our own suggestions. In part of my subconscious mind program, we go through an exploratory journey of discovery to craft the ideal autosuggestions. And I've been working with autosuggestions for almost 20 years, since 2004, when I discovered it in Think and Grow Rich. I find at times general autosuggestions work perfectly, like for example, I accept myself the way I am now. And at times, if resistance is high, the magic elixir is a precisely targeted autosuggestion that may not make sense to another person, yet it speaks so deeply to the heart of the one who applies it because it is a resistance-free autosuggestion. For example, imagine having a conversation with a best friend, mentor, only it's with yourself. And this is very powerful. So it's up to each person to discover and choose which ones work best for them. Again, one way is not better than the other. We do what works for us personally. So now let's connect our findings together from the questions we ask to our resistance friend to craft an autosuggestion that releases the identification to the unhelpful beliefs. Remember, they are looking to be released to encourage the true ways of being and to accept the desires of your heart as fulfilled. We can say, there already are infinite ways that exist now to bring forth any vision. I am the visionary, and my desires are sacred promises of what I shall experience, all done for me as creation is complete. Upon reflection, I realize it has always been this way. Everything was, is, and ever shall be done for me through infinite possible combinations and permutations, all strung together for me as the effortless, blissful path to realizing the relationship I desire. So in summary, desires can be easily accepted wherever you are in waking hours, real time, by befriending resistance. Overthinking and unnecessary emotional resistance is caused by specific beliefs. It's an opportunity to have a fun, loving conversation with yourself, which from there, another side benefit, which is powerful. And I like how James Allen said it in his book, The Heavenly Life, which he was referring to the Buddha. He said, "Said a great teacher to his disciples, those who shall be a lamp unto themselves, relying upon themselves only, and not relying upon any external help, but holding fast to the truth as their lamp, and seeking their salvation in the truth alone, shall not look for assistance to any besides themselves. It is they amongst my disciples who shall reach the very topmost height, but they must be willing to learn. The true teacher is in the heart of everyone and must ultimately be found there by all." So I trust you found this video to be helpful. Let's go ahead and conclude this with an auto-suggestion to further encourage. You can say, I automatically relate ideally to all thought and emotions, and from this premise, I effortlessly accept all I truly desire to be as established fact as it is, from which I flowingly dance through life in a blissful way, knowing that everything is done for me by the unseen power within me. If you would like a copy of this mind map, the link is in the description. Thank you very much for watching. I'll talk with you soon. Take care.